on the doors in their divisions. It's the Indians and Cardinals with some special talent leading the way.
Carlos Beltran leads the Cardinals, the highest scoring team in the National League this year. For Asdrubal Cabrera and the Indians, they begin play a half game out of first in the American League Central.
St. Louis for a matchup of two teams knocking on the doors in their divisions. It's the Indians and Cardinals with some special talent leading the way.
Carlos Beltran leads the Cardinals, the highest scoring team in the National League this year. For Asdrubal Cabrera and the Indians, they begin play a half game out of first in the American League Central. It is a beautiful summer night in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, and naturally a sellout crowd on hand at Busch Stadium. Interleague baseball, the Cleveland Indians, winners in the opener last night, taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Rick Manning, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Baseball Night in America here on Fox. Now, Rick, you see these Indians each and every day. Are you surprised they're 5 games over 500? And only a half game back of the White Sox in the AL Central?
Well, a team with not a legitimate superstar, but they've done very well playing on the road this year. They average over 5 runs a ball game. They play at 500 at home, but they go out there, they grind it out every night. They have been surprising to me so far.
Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, a very perplexing club. A little better than 2 months in. They look like world beaters in April, but what has happened since?
They were firing on all cylinders in April, 14 wins. Their starting pitching was there. Their offense was there. The DL came about. 15 times they've used the disabled list. They're going to have to get that pitching back into play because their ERA has doubled since the month of April.
Well, you're talking about a couple of teams that came out rolling. The Cardinals, winners of 16 of their first 24 to jump in front of the National League Central. The Tribe, winners of 17 of 28. But both have suffered through some tough times since. Game 2 on Fox coming up next. brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Mas, Chu, Cabrera, and Kipnis to start it. Kipnis having a great year. Santana off the disabled list. Michael Brantley in center field with Johnny Damon out in left. Hanna third of Casey Kochman, the first baseman. Chisenhall down at third for the injured Hanahan. And Justin Masterson, a right-hander, is on the mound. And the opening pitch tonight brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. So Kyle Loesch toes the rubber tonight for St. Louis, a 5-1 record. And first pitch swinging, a roller up the middle, and a one-hop throw, and a nice play made by Daniel Descalso. So Chu retired as we are underway. Loesch has really found himself since bouncing around with Minnesota, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia before landing here with the Cardinals.
Well, Mr. Consistency, he's 5-1 in his 12 starts, 6 no decisions. He could be much better than that, but you know, with Kyle Loesch on his scouting report, master control, only 10 walks in his 73 innings. He's got pinpoint control. You'll see an aggressive offense by the Indians, and consistency. He keeps you in the ball game every time he is out there.
Asdrubal Cabrera shows a bunt and takes a strike, checks in a .298 batter, 5 home runs, 25 batted in. Of course, Cabrera coming off a real breakout season in 2011 when he hit 25 home runs and knocked in better than 90.
Now, Manny Acta switched him in from the number 3 hole where he was hitting most of the year and put him into the number 2 hole for Jason Kipnis, the guy to follow.
Breaking ball just misses.
The Indians with a couple left-handed hitters, they like to separate. He moved Chu into the leadoff spot, so when you have Kipnis, both left-handers, you want the switch hitters to follow him.
On the ground to the right side, that's Adams. A quick feed to the covering motion, just like that, a pair of ground ball outs. Take a look at the Cardinals defensively. They shuffled this thing around up to just moments ago. Matt Holliday out with mild back spasms, so Craig gets a nod in left with Shane Robinson in center field. And it's still Matt Adams getting regular playing time down there at first base. Of course, Lance Berkman is out for an extended period of time following knee surgery. One of the really great stories in baseball is Jason Kipnis. What a start. 9 home runs, 36 runs batted in, both team highs, .281 batting, and has 14 stolen bases.
Came onto the scene about a year ago. Right here, called up by the Indians, signed out of Arizona State as an outfielder, and really starting to fill in nicely at second base. He's starting to become comfortable out there.
Soft liner, and it's played off the short hop by for a ball, and the inning is over. So the Tribe gone 1, 2, 3. And big time offense to the Cardinals coming up. brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. It'll be for a call and short. Beltran and right tonight. Molina batting in a 3-hole for the first time in his major league career. Alan Craig, Mike Adams, and David Freese in the middle. Latter third of Descalso, Robinson, and Kyle Osh against 2-5 right-hander Justin Masterson. This young man had an outstanding 2011 year. They're hoping he's going to get it together after a sluggish start here in 2012.
Yeah, making his 13th start, 2-5 record, and ERA over 5. And the scouting report on Justin Masterson, his first inning runs, his ERA 9.75 in the first inning, and the hitters are hitting 377 off him. And it's all going to stem around his fastball command. It moves a lot. He's much tougher against right-handers than left-handers, so if he can get the left-handers out, it should bode well.
Rafael for a call, beginning his first full season after coming over last year to St. Louis in a big part of their World Championship season, and off to a big start. Of course, a lot of guys in this Cardinal lineup are not going to cover off the ball. They lead the National League in virtually every offensive category.
And the hard thing for me to believe is they've been shut out 6 times already. They went to New York and really had a tough weekend in a 4-game series against the Mets.
Now they got no hit by Johan Santana, and then the
knuckleballer shut him down.
R.A. Dickey, and then he only got 1 run against Jonathan Neese before getting out of there with a win last Monday. Two and two for a call. On the ground to the right side, Kochman is sure-handed as they come down at first. And take a look at the Tribe defensively. Damon getting the nod out in left field. Bradley red hot right now. Chisenhall, we mentioned, brought up from the minor leagues. And Carlos Santana, after dealing with concussions, is off the disabled list and back behind the plate tonight. Of course, no one knows more about concussions than Mike Matheny. More on that in a moment. But look at the numbers in the first inning that you referred to.
Yeah, that's something he's got to try and control. And the Indians have given up as a team more first inning runs than anybody. 49 runs on the year. So I mean, that's something that they have to curb. They're a much better team when they play in front because their offense has sputtered this year.
Now the Cardinals are a team that generally jump on you. They've scored the 3rd most first inning runs in all of baseball. 0-2 on Beltran. Big shift put on defensively, and of course he serves it into left field. It'll fall in a hit.
Tell you, that was a nice piece of hitting there by Carlos Beltran. Last night in the ball game, they had the shift on. He pushed a little drag button, got a base hit. Well, he sees the shift again, and he's not going to try and do too much. He takes exactly what Masterson gives him, a good sinker down and away. Damon out and straight away left field, but that's a pretty good job of hitting.
Beltran healthy again and running the bases, not like he used to when he was a 30-40 stolen base guy per year, but 6 out of 8 so far this season. And now Yadier Molina. Well, what a year he is having. The older he gets, the better he gets. Of course, that number 3 spot in the batting order here in St. Louis was locked down for better than a decade. With Albert Pujols in their lineup each and every day. They began the season with Matt Holliday there, and they've had to move some guys around with all the injuries they've had.
Right now, this guy's swinging it about as well as you can. He's a tough out. He hit the ball on the nose 4 times last night.
Well, you come rolling into St. Louis, Rick, and you're so used to seeing Pujols, manager Tony La Russa, Dave Duncan, the pitching coach. So many changes before the year ever began. And now so many changes once the season did begin because of all the injuries.
Yeah, we said that 15 times they've used the disable list to this point. 8 since the beginning of June. And, you know, that's tough to do when you don't have your players out there. You've got to try and weather the storm, and the big key for them will be the pitching department.
Slow roller down to third. Chisenhall has time with Molina running. Advancing into scoring position, Beltran, and they're 2 out. of the many postseason heroes for the Cardinals last year was Alec Craig. When this season began, there was just no room and nowhere for him to play. Once he did get in the lineup, he knocked the cover off the ball. He's been on the disabled list twice. But man, for a guy who has 79 at bats, he has 26 runs batted in.
Boy, he has a knack of how to drive him in and get the big hit, and that's tough for a young player to do.
Strike one. Of course, Mark McGwire, one of only 2 coaches on this Cardinal staff who opens this year in the role that he ended last year. He's done a really nice job as a Cardinal hitting coach.
You know, and predominantly right-handed power. So who better to talk to him about it than that guy right there? You know, their right-handers really do a nice job of using the whole field and going the other way. And you can see the home runs per game going up since Big Mac has been there. Runs per game going up. And let's put it this way, Tommy, they have great talent. They've got some guys that can hit the baseball.
0-2. And it's fought off out of play to the first base side. Mike Matheny, a native Buckeye, grew up just outside of Columbus, Ohio. In his first season as a manager, and he was considered a long shot by general manager before interviewing, you know, a real gamble, if you will. And he was as surprised as anybody, Matheny was, that he was offered the job as a manager to replace Tony La Russa. 1 hit, 1 left. We've played 1, and we're scoreless at Busch Stadium. Go Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by new Just for Men, auto stop is foolproof. Gray is over. Paolo shut down the Indians 1-2-3 in the opening inning. So the cleanup hitter Carlos Santana steps up there and looks at a breaking ball strike. And a big shift put on defensively for Santana.
You know, you see a lot of these shifts around the American League nowadays. You know, with the left-handed guys, you see the outfielder going, or second baseman going into the short outfield. I mean, you used to see it rarely, but now you see it almost every game.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Got him on that changeup away. Yeah, it was an honor before the game to have Miss Missouri, Miss USA 2012, Katie Kearney, and
oopsie. What was her name? Wild Thing? What was it? She got number 99 on her back. Oh boy.
She's able to laugh about it.
Obviously, nobody worked with her before that first pitch.
I mean, you would think growing up in Missouri, I mean, this is big-time baseball country. They love their baseball. That she had thrown a seed right down the middle, right?
You expected to see that.
Well, here's Michael Brantley. That's off the fist down the left field line and foul. Of course, when you're going like Brantley is going right now, that's the kind of jam shot that falls in for a hit.
You know, I expected it. You're right. 16-game hitting streak. You know, and he was borderline before the game because he had a stiff neck, so they had to wait to see if they were going to put him in the lineup. He did take batting practice, and he is in there, but he has been swinging the bat beautifully.
And that's strike 3 called on the inside corner on a Loesch fastball. Right now, let's check in with our buddy Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break.
Tommy, Phillies and Orioles, since the end of his 20-game hitting streak, Adam Jones had been hitting under 200. Bottom of the 12th, he hits the game winner. The O's win it 6-4. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Tom and Rick.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Boy, that American League East is something to watch. All 5 teams going into play today were within 3 games of first. 2 outs, nobody on for Johnny Damon. It's a ball and a strike.
And Jones having some kind of year there in Baltimore.
That's off the glove of the third baseman, David Freese. For the Cardinals, that's another part of their game which has really gone south. We talked about the pitching, but also the defense. They had 3 more errors in a game here last night.
Well, the minute you see a third baseman starting to break back on a baseball, it's going to be a tough play. But the left-hander, Damon just slaps it that way, but he starts retreating. And he tried to play it off to the side. That ball had a little spin. He couldn't catch it cleanly. So that'll go as you see it. Hits him in the heel of the glove. So their 4th error in the first 2 games in this series. And the Indians are a team that take advantage of situations like this, extra outs.
Another big part of this Cleveland offense, and Rick Manning, you see it each and every day, the running game. Now, Damon, not the base stealer he once was. He still runs relatively well, but only 1 stolen base attempt. It was a successful one, but the Indians lead the league in stolen bases. Yeah,
it's surprisingly they've you know, just under 80%. They pick and choose the right time to do it. The Manny Act will hit and run with a lot of the guys here. They have the fewest sacrifice bunts in the league, and it's a team you would think that would bunt more because they don't have a lot of power hitting. But Manny picks and chooses. He hit and ran with the pitcher last night, Josh Tomlin, and it was successful.
Manny Act beginning his 3rd season as skipper. Took over, of course, for Eric Wedge. 3 balls and no strikes now on Kochman. Those 48 stolen bases, only the Miami Marlins have more in all of baseball than the Indians. Four-pitch walk to Kochman.
Well, when you look at this Indians club.
And take a look at our 4 keys to the game for each club.
Yeah, with the Indians, it's 2-out runs. They have done a terrific job this year scoring with 2 outs, and a lot of times 2 outs they've scored 33 runs with nobody on base like they have in this inning, but it's because of the error. And for the St. Louis Cardinals, that bullpen. If Kyle Loesch can turn it over to them with the lead, I think that'll be a big key for them today.
Now the batter is Lonnie Chisenhall. He began the year in AAA Columbus after getting some playing time with a big league club last year. You may remember he got hit in the face last July. He only missed 3 games. And after a brutal first 3 months in the major leagues, he came on strong, but just brought up after the injury to Jack Hanahan, their regular third baseman.
Well, and Chisenhall, he didn't break out of spring training with him because Hanahan won the job coming out, and you know they wanted him to work on his plate discipline And this is going to be an interesting situation with the pitcher hitting behind you, because Kyle Loesch could carve you like a turkey out there. He's got that kind of control.
Try to get him a chase on a breaking ball in the dirt.
He doesn't have to throw him a strike here. You have the pitcher on deck, although you would like to get this guy and retire him.
What are your thoughts about the long-term view of Chisenhall? Only 23 years old.
He's got great pop. He's got to learn to stay back and hit a breaking ball and off-speed pitches. He's a good dead red low ball hitter. But in this game, as you well know, once they find your spot, the big leagues, they can pick it apart until you make adjustments. And he hasn't been able to make the adjustment so far, but I'm sure he will. He's still a young kid. He's got a great arm at third base. He is definitely their third baseman of the future.
After the 2-out error by Freese, it's Damon at second, Kochman at first, 2 are out, no score. We're in the second inning, and the 1-2 pitch coming to Chisenhall. Pull foul.
That's one thing. I look at Kyle Loesch a lot like Josh Tomlin, who pitched in last night's game for the Indians. He's just so good at using the 4 quadrants of the strike zone, down and in, down and away, up and in, up and away, and changing speeds at doing that. And you have one of the best defensive catchers back there. He's not going to give in to him at all in this at-bat.
1-2 to Chisenhall with 2 on and 2 out. Pulled foul again. Should be noted for the Cardinal fans out there, Cincinnati lost today at home to Detroit. Final count of 3-2. Cardinals surprisingly beginning the afternoon in third place in the National League Central, but only 3 games behind the front-running Reds. They're 1 behind the Pirates. And those are updated now 2.5 games after the Reds lost. And meanwhile, the White Sox pounded the Astros today. So the Indians with a win would stay a half game behind. A loss, they'd go to a game and a half. Eighth pitch of the at-bat, Loesch to Chisenhall. And there will be a 9th pitch.
Nice patience. And he will not give in. That show pitch right there going inside. I'll say he goes with an off-speed pitch down and away. He will not give in with the pitcher on deck. He tried to throw the fastball inside here. You can see him slide in. A pretty good pitch. But they say just in off the plate.
In the air, short left center. Who wants it for a call? The call, and for a call, the catch. Indians strand 2. Still no score. summer is calling. We'll look at the carriage house at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery here in St. Louis, Missouri. Great to have you with us on this Saturday night. Baseball Night in America on Fox. No score. Justin Masterson lets it fly to begin the bottom of the second inning to Mike Adams. Ball one. In the air, straight away center. That's easy from Michael Brantley. One out. Let's take a peek ahead to next week on Baseball Night in America. Interleague play again. The Red Sox will go to Wrigley. How about that matchup? For the Red Sox and the Cubbies, some will see the Reds and the Mets from New York. Some other regional action. Baseball Night in America presented by Budweiser begins next Saturday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Well, the postseason hero, World Series hero last year, David Freese. 265 batter, 12 home runs, 40 runs batted in.
A big night the other night in Houston. 6 RBIs, a couple of home runs, his first grand slam, as a matter of fact.
Freese set postseason records, all-time records. 21 runs batted in. 50 total bases, was the most valuable player of not only the World Series but the National League Championship Series.
Well, that's a good month, isn't it?
That's a real nice month. 2 hopper to short. Cabrera throws out Freese here, 2 away. And obviously Masterson, 3 ground balls all ready to start tonight. That's a good start for him.
Well, he trails Derek Lowe, his partner over there as a starting pitcher for the Indians, as a ground ball machine. And when that sinker is right, he gets a lot of ground balls. And he's tough on right-handed hitters because his ball just moves all over the place.
Daniel Descalso, the second baseman, looks at a strike. Masterson was born in Jamaica. His father is a minister and was working as a stint as dean of boys at Jamaica Theological Seminary. That one pulled foul. But Justin was only there 2 years and moved to Ohio. He grew up just outside of Beaver Creek, and in high school was actually a catcher. Went to the baseball juggernaut Bethel College in Indiana, where he became a pitcher. Finished his collegiate career at San Diego State. Originally drafted by Boston and then traded to the Indians. And
yeah, and last year, you know, they didn't know if they wanted to bring him out of the bullpen or start him, and Justin turned in to be a very good starter. You can see he's a big guy, a lot of arms, a lot of legs, and he gets the movement. And when he is online, his mechanics are well, he's unhittable. He has a tendency, being a big guy, 6'6", that he can get out of whack a little bit and lose it. And he's just got to try and tighten himself up. When he does, very good.
There's a rocket by Kochman into the corner. And this will be extra bases for Descalso. He has a 2-out double.
Well, Daniel Descalso hit a bullet past Kochman. That ball gets down and ricochets out into right field. So a 2-out base hit, the second hit for the Cardinals this evening. And they'll have a man in scoring position. That ball hit sharply past Kochman.
Is there any way, Rick, to put a finger on it, why this Indians pitching staff, they're allowing a 299 batting average against with runners in scoring position, second highest in all of baseball?
Yeah, that's hard to figure out. And Masterson, with 2 outs, it goes up to 350. You know, when you have a man in scoring position, that's one part of his game that has struggled this year. And the Indians as a team, the second highest, it's tough to figure out. I mean, those are innings offensively when you can do something against them. That hurts. You know, when you have a chance to close out that inning and get out.
Well, Masterson now facing the number 8 batter, a late addition to the Cardinals starting lineup. They originally had Beltran in right field, or in center field, I beg your pardon. They had Alan Craig in right and Matt Holliday in left, but if you weren't with us, Holliday suffering from some back spasms, so he was a late scratch.
same scenario here with first base open, pitcher on deck. Masterson ahead of Robinson, so you don't want to give in here.
Scoreless game. Robinson trying to change that with a runner at second and 2 out, and a swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and that'll do it. Still no score. We're back to St. Louis after a word from your local Fox station. Baseball Night in America on Fox, presented by Budweiser. Top of the third inning underway. Great to have you with us on this Saturday night. Summertime kicking into gear, and it feels like it here tonight in St. Louis. Local time, 6 o'clock start. Temperatures hovering right around 90 degrees.
But not bad. No humidity. It's not like July or August here, is it?
No. As always, huge crowd on hand at Busch Stadium. They're packing them in virtually each and every night. High bouncer behind the mound for a call. Still a very strong arm, and throws out Masterson. One gone in the third inning. See the low humidity. Normally you come barreling in here, like you referred to, Rick, in July, and that humidity's right around 80, 85, 90. That'll gobble you up.
Yeah, yes, it will.
But now Chu swung at the first pitch of the game and bounced out to the second baseman.
Yeah, usually if you get that first at bat, you swing at the first pitch, you certainly have to come back and take a few pitches after that, your second time around. Chu, about 24 games into the leadoff spot, has done a nice job for Maniacta. Getting on base, making things happen. Normally he was in the number 3 hole or down in the lineup a little more to drive in runs, but you know, when Michael Brantley was in the leadoff spot, he just shook the lineup up a little bit, and it's paid dividends for him.
2-1 pitch again, grounded to Descalso. That's out number 2. We invite you to visit Major League Baseball, MLB.com/fan guide, and register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to a 2012 MLB World Series game presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Both these starters tonight appear to be on top of their game. Ground ball after ground ball, and with 2 away, here's Cabrera. We talked about some of the Cardinals' injuries, a big blow for the Tribe, even though in recent years he hasn't been the hitter he once was. But was swinging the bat better this year's Travis Haffner.
Right. He came out, was in very good shape for spring training and ended up swinging the bat well. But then, you know, in the last few years when he was playing in interleague play, when we're in the National League parks, he didn't play anyway because he doesn't play a position. So they're not going to miss him, except Manny Actor would give him one more bat off the bench that he certainly could use.
Popped up over on the third base side. Molina gives it a look, and it's out of play. But day in and day out, when you are playing inside, in the Indians' case, the American League, as you look at the huge jump for Cabrera from 10 to 2011 that we mentioned earlier, I would imagine they very much miss Haffner in that DH spot.
Well, they miss the presence in the middle part of the lineup. Someone behind Santan or somebody behind that 3, 4, 5 guy, and that's where they really miss him. He's a veteran hitter. He would take his walks. That was a jam shot there.
You'll hear about it from a dugout later on.
Oh, yes.
They'll come back in and they'll say, a grown man hit that ball.
Well, the good thing is nobody caught it, so you're still up there. You have a chance to get a base hit and redeem yourself.
I think he's getting a little bit right now from Yadier Molina. All right, 2-2 now on Cabrera. And it's inside to run the count full. Cabrera bounced out to the first baseman Adams. His first time up. In the air, short left. And that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, go the Indians. Cardinals coming up. Still no score. Bottom of the third inning, the Indians and the Cardinals in game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. No score, pitcher against pitcher as we begin the third, and only natural that we would bring in another pitcher to join us from the Cleveland Indians dugout. Kind enough to join us for the second time on Fox this year, right-hander Derek Lowe. Derek, thanks for your time.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing very, very well. We were catching up a little bit a few moments ago with you, and, you know, not necessarily this ballpark, but you coming back into St. Louis, you've had some of the best moments of your career pitching here.
Yeah, it was a magical year in '04, you know, in the old stadium. And it was just, you know, we got on a tremendous run. And, you know, so every time we come back here, you know, you definitely have the warm fuzzies in the belly when you get here.
Well, we're showing some clips of you right now in Game 4 where you won it. You were on the mound. You won the Division Series, the League Championship Series, and the World Series game that year. What a year, huh?
Yeah, it was, again, it was just a tremendous run, and it was just, you know, something that you would love to relive, and you know, that's our goal here in Cleveland this year is to get back in the postseason.
You know, I never thought of it, Derek, till just watching and hearing Rick talking about Division Series, LCS, World Series. Have you ever had a chance to catch up with Adam Wainwright? Because, you know, you two guys really are two of not very many guys that have ever pitched in the history of baseball where you know, you were able to be a part of clinching a Division Series, an LCS, and a World Series in the same year.
Yeah, I have not. I bet his will be more impressive. I think in, you know, I got the first win in the first round was I came in I think the 11th inning, and then Ortiz hit a home run. And so I only pitched one inning. I bet at least his were starts, but you know, you just have to be in the right place at the right time, and you know, unfortunately I was for those 3 games.
Masterson starts out for a call with a breaking ball, ball 1. Obviously, you've been given a lot of credit, Derek, for being a big influence on what, by and large, is a very young Cleveland Indians starting rotation.
You know, it's, you know, we don't really care who gets credit. I you know, we spoke earlier in the year, and these guys have helped me out as much as maybe I've helped them. And you know, the one thing you should try to come and lead by example. I try to. You know, talk more about off the field stuff as far as work ethic. You know, make sure you have a solid routine that's going to get you better every 5 days, and you know, those are the types of stuff we talk about. But again, these guys have definitely helped me out throughout the season.
Well, you guys look at your buddy out there today, Justin Masterson, sinker ball pitchers. You guys lead the league in ground balls, you know, ratio per fly ball. So I'm sure you can share that. You've got Josh Tomlin, who's a control guy. I mean, if you guys can feed off each other like you do earlier in the year, it should be a nice little rotation work.
Yeah, it's
That one's in the air, deep to left center field, and Beltran got him with a 2-out home run to left center, number 17.
Yeah, he's having an unbelievable year. But you know, we went on a rough stretch about a couple weeks ago, and it all comes down to starting pitching. We've said this in spring training. If you can't start, you're going to struggle, and you know, we're no different than anybody else. And but you know, we believe in ourselves, and it's a great team to be part of. It's young, it's energetic, and we believe we are going to win. And maybe a lot of people outside Cleveland don't believe us, but you know, it should be a fun summer.
Well, the home run by Beltran, and we mentioned it, 17 of them for him.
Yeah, it's you know, it's great to see guys, you know, get back to playing where you remember them, and you know, this guy was one of the best, and he's obviously back to that form.
Of course, good health is a big part of it, Derek. We were talking earlier. You have never, thank God for that, never been on the disabled list.
Yeah, it's you know, I almost go back to my childhood. My dad was one of those guys that never let me throw breaker balls, so I never pitched when I was a kid. When I came into pro ball when I was 18 years old, I only pitched like 40 innings, so I think that had a lot to do with it. But you know, you definitely have to have a lot of luck.
Derek, thanks for the time. Continued success.
All right, thanks, guys.
youth baseball in cities and towns across America. By DirecTV, if you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. Carlos Beltran, a solo home run in the Cardinal third inning. St. Louis leads 1-0. Part of the order for the Tribe, Kipnis, Santana, and Michael Brantley against Kyle Lohse, who's yet to allow a base hit. Well, we had Derek Lowe a moment ago, and this man's name came up during the conversation. Adam Wainwright now joins us from the Cardinal dugout. And Adam, we were talking to Derek Lowe about, getting wins to clinch a division series, an LCS, and a World Series. Now, you know all about that as far as saving a game in those scenarios, and he said he's never had a chance to talk to you about it.
Yeah, very fortunate my rookie season in 2006 to have all those opportunities. I think Tony did a great job of bringing me along slow, and so I was put into the fire when I was prepared. And I remember watching Derek do those kinds of things when he was starting and closing. So, he's a great pitcher, has been for years.
That's you, Rick Manning.
Get out of here, man. What's wrong with you?
Adam, obviously everybody knows that follows baseball after becoming a starter in the back-to-back unbelievable years. Last year you missed because of elbow surgery. How do you feel you're throwing the ball right now?
I'm throwing the ball pretty good right now. Early on this season there was a conditioning process for my arm to get back into the swing of things. I think, when you're in spring training, I had a lot of life this year in short stints, 2-inning stints, 3-inning stints, and the farther and farther I got stretched out, the harder it was to keep my life on the ball. And it just took me a few starts to get that back. But right now the ball's going really coming out of my hand really well.
Coming out of your hand, and how's the control? Is that the last thing to come after surgery, Adam?
I don't know. I just think that's different for each guy. I mean, that's what you hear a lot. But it's been in stages with me. It was my control for a few games. It was the life on the ball for a few games, and I think it's just getting back comfortable on the mound again and repeating your delivery.
Well, when you pitched against San Diego there, you had the complete game shutout, 4 hits, 9 punch-outs. That had to make you feel very special after all the hard work to get back.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And actually had a moment at the end of the game where I just was overcome with emotion, and I almost cried like a little baby out there. And I really love this game. And when you take a year off and put that much work into getting back, it's nice to have some affirmation of your work.
You always hear I guess the saying, Adam, where it's a minor surgery unless it's on you. And in this day and age, the Tommy John surgery is being performed so well as that one is bunted up the third base line. Friesel barehanded, but legging it out for a bunt hit is Brantley. His hitting streak goes to 17 straight games. And that's the first hit of the game for Cleveland. When you knew you were going to have the surgery, even though there's been a good success track record of coming back, are you really, really scared that you're ever going to be able to get on the mound again?
I never thought about it. I just trusted the doctors and my training staff. Adam Olson, who's my trainer all year long, worked with me every single day. I just believed in those guys' efforts and trusted that I was going to be healed. And I put way too much work in to worry about all the things I couldn't control. And I just tried to do what they told me every day. I mean, the process that is Tommy John, they've got down to pretty much a science. Those trainers know how you're going to feel the day you come in before you even get there. I mean, it's really impressive. So you just trust those guys, and more oftentimes than not, it's going to work out.
Well, you guys have used the DL a lot this year, 15 times. What does your pitching staff have to do to bounce back and get yourself back on track and stay in this thing?
We just have to go deeper into games. Our bullpen is great when we give them a chance to be great. And what I mean by that is your starter goes out there, throws a good quality game, keeps your team in the game, and just lets those 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys go in there. And then you can have a couple guys that take a few nights off. The starter goes 9. Right. Everybody has a fresh arm. And it makes everybody in the bullpen better when the starters are better. And so as a starting staff, we just need to do a better job of going deep in the games.
It's pretty funny. It's the same scenario for every ball club. When your starters can carry you into the 7th inning, then that takes the pressure off your bullpen. They stay fresher longer. It's a great scenario when it works, and it goes through every team all year long, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And that kind of thing goes in stages. We have a great veteran pitching staff here for the most part that really knows how to get their work done in between games and be prepared to go out there every fifth day and give their self and their team a chance to win. And you know, that's why I think our 5 guys will do a great job of that going forward. It's because we've been there, we've done that, we know how to prepare and work for each and every start.
2 on, 1 out. St. Louis with a 1-0 lead. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Damon, and Loesch delivers, and it's just off the outside corner. And of course, just when it looks like Adam, maybe everybody's starting to get healthy again, at least as far as the rotation is concerned. Now Jaime Garcia goes down. He'll be out for a while, and I know your buddy Chris Carpenter, who certainly has been so influential for you, is hoping to get back.
Yeah, he is, and you know, he's making some great strides. Everything we're hearing is that he's, you know, throwing the ball great, and that's a really important piece of our team. If we can add a guy like Chris Carpenter before the home stretch there, we're getting a pretty good bonus right before the playoffs. So I think the thing to think about when you look at our team is everybody's thinking about one game at a time, but we know we have a playoff type team.
Well, on the lighter side of this, before you got up to come over and talk to us in the stands, you thought those guys, your teammates, got you, didn't you, with a little gum on your hat or your face? Or
no, I
did something.
I didn't think they got me. I know they got me. I got a huge wad of gum on my rear right now. So
you were afraid. I saw you checking your hat out, your uniforms out. Do you know who did it?
Well, when you turn around and you see half the team grinning at you, you know something's on you.
Yeah. Well, you've got a chance to pay him back, I can tell you that. You've got time.
It's a long season, trust me. It's a long season.
Hey, Adam, thanks so much for your time tonight. We appreciate it, and good luck, and we'll see, I'm sure, many, many times between now and October.
All right, thanks a lot for having me, guys.
All right, Adam Wainwright from the Cardinal dugout, coming off an outstanding start. And you heard from him, he feels like he's starting to really throw the ball well. It's good to have him back.
Yeah, it is. It sure is. And if they get Carpenter, you want to see him back at full strength. You know, that's just the way the game works. You hate to see people injured. But when he says that they've got Tommy John down to a science, they really do, because it's almost like how many pitchers are pitching in the big leagues now, Tom, that haven't had it. You know, they're more rare than anything else. It seems like everybody at one point in time has had it.
Carpenter, meanwhile, his issue is not with his elbow. His issue has been with his shoulder. It began in his neck back in spring training. And really no timetable yet. 0-2 to Kochman with 2 on and 2 men out. A ball and 2 strikes. Rick, you brought it up earlier. I mean, when they were wearing people out in the first month of the season, it was all about pitching, and look what's happened since.
Yeah, their ERA has doubled. The starters look at a 2.5. The bullpen was solid. You know, they've blown some saves recently here in the last couple of weeks.
Loesch is going to survive this 4th inning. A hit and a walk, 2 left. Still the Cardinals 1, the Indians nothing. Justin Masterson here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Masterson has allowed 3 hits, and the only one that hurt him, the home run by Beltran to left center in the third. Alan Craig will lead it off and looks at a ball. Cleveland with only 1 base hit. That was a bunt single by Michael Brantley in the top of this fourth inning. 2-0 pitch and a ground ball to Cabrera for the first out. Right now, let's check in with Matt Vasgersian from the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break.
Tommy, Rays and Marlins, and the Rays got to Carlos Zambrano for 5 runs on 4 singles in the second. 2 more here in the third on Ben Zobrist's 7th of the year. Rays knock out Zambrano after just 2 1/3. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Tom and Rick.
Matt, thank you. But by and large, it's been a pretty good year for Zambrano. Marlins rolling the dice and taking the chance in a trade, getting him from the Cubs, and so far outside of tonight, so good.
Yeah, good relationship, I guess, with Ozzie Guillen, who's managing that club down there.
Of course, there was all the controversy surrounding comments made by Ozzie Guillen in reference to Fidel Castro early, and Guillen said, "I've learned my lesson. It will never happen again." Now, there are a lot of skeptics out there, but so far, he's been quiet, and his team has played very, very well.
Yes, after he's been back. You're absolutely right. We'll see how long he can remain quiet, because that's been Ozzie's problem in his career. He loves to talk, and he just, you know, his heart comes out. Reporters, I'm sure, love him. You know, guys that need a story or they need a quote or they want to talk, he doesn't hide his feelings. Very emotional.
Well, I know one thing. When we come in on Fox in years past, of course, to do a White Sox game, it's about as entertaining as it gets when you go down to his office. There's a ground ball to short, 2 are out. Well, on Tuesday in MLB's first ever All-Star leadoff event, Matt Kemp, Matt Joyce, and Robinson Cano explained why winning the All-Star game, it's right here on Fox, is so important.
You know, home field advantage is definitely an advantage. So, you know, we're out there playing as hard as we can and trying to win the games.
When the game starts, you know, you want to win. You know, it's a competition, and we everybody knows what's at stake.
We're always trying to be a hero. I mean, we want to go to an All-Star game and get a hit and help the team to win a game.
Of course, the Cardinals took full advantage of a National League winning the All-Star game again last year. A couple of years in a row now for the National League after getting pounded for better than a decade. And, well, you got to believe home field advantage had a little bit to do with the Cardinals beating the Rangers in 7 games. This guy had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, the Cardinals done their last strike 2 times last year. From elimination, they come back, and because of this guy, ended up winning it.
Now, the Indians are saying that is a fair ball, and they are correct in that assessment. Freese is still standing around home plate. They looked at the third base umpire, and the first base umpire is not even making contact. That's a final out. 1-0 St. Louis. And you could read his lips saying that ball hit my foot.
Yeah, rightfully so. He was right. That ball he didn't move, so you figure he knew it was going to go off. You wait for the umpire to call timeout. He never did. And after we got a look at it, he was absolutely right.
Fly ball straight away center off the bat of Lonnie Chisenhall, and that's out number 1. Let's go back and look at it.
Well, watch his front foot. It does go off his toe. But, I mean, it went straight down and it ricocheted out. I mean, tough for the home plate umpire to see it, and obviously tough for the third base umpire because it comes straight out as a ground ball. And when you see no hands going up as an umpire, what do? You pick the ball up, you throw it to first base. But they had a legitimate beef. Now, you see, Freese knows he felt it go off his toe. Obviously, the third base umpire didn't feel it or see it. So as it rolls out, you just pick it up, throw it to first base, and it cost him an at-bat.
1-0 ball game on a Carlos Beltran third inning home run. And Justin Masterson bats for the second time. He grounded out to Furcal his first time up, and he's behind 0-2. Check in on Seattle and the Dodgers. As here is strike 3 called. And here's our main man, Matt Vasgersian, from the MLB Network studio.
Hey, Tommy, as if to say enough with the combined no-hitter stuff. The Dodgers jump on Jason Vargas early in Seattle tonight. Jerry Hairston's 3-run shot in the first, a part of a 5-0 L.A. lead. Back to you guys in St. Louis.
Well, of course, Matt, referring to that combined 6-pitcher no-hitter last night for Seattle against the Dodgers. Already the 4th no-hitter in the major leagues this season. And by the way, the 6 pitchers used in the game tied the most ever in a no-hitter.
That's something.
Now remember, the Astros used 6 pitchers no-hitting the Yankees during interleague play in 03. Bouncer to short, and just beating the throw is Chu. That's an 8-pitch inning. We're already in the middle of 5th. 1-0 St. Louis. Advisor is sponsored by the 2012 Ford F-150, built Ford tough. St. Louis Arch and the mighty Mississippi separating Missouri and Illinois. Well, there's no fooling around up there for hitters on both teams tonight. Pitchers throwing a pile of strikes. Cardinals with 3 hits, Cleveland with a bunt single.
Kyle Loesch has been unbelievable, and Masterson's been on his game. He's allowed only 3 hits. The one left the ballpark. He left a mistake out over the plate to Beltran. And all 3 hits that the Cardinals have off left-handed bats.
Descalso doubled down the right field line his first time up, and now behind on a ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 on Descalso, and pulled foul. That's where he had the double his first time up.
When you get into interleague play and you're not familiar with the pitchers out there, you have a tendency offensively to maybe be a little more aggressive and get after guys' first pitch until you don't want to let them settle in. Kyle Loesch, a guy that has impeccable control, only walked 10 all year long. I can see that approach, but with Masterson you may want to be a little more patient because he has had trouble throwing strikes. Today he has not, so they've got to change their approach.
Well, that's nasty right there from Masterson. That was hard breaking ball in on Descalso.
Hard slider. And you can see it just disappears. You're used to watching that ball go the other way. Nice, tight, hard slider inside. Gets his 4th strikeout.
Shane Robinson takes away ball 1. He struck out swinging his first time up. 4 strikeouts for Masterson. No walks. In the air, backing up Brantley for out number 2. Is this as good as Masterson has been, at least through, what, 4 2/3 of any start you've seen this year?
Well, yes, he's been locked in a couple of times, but right now it's been as good as I've seen him in quite some time. You look at Justin, he hasn't pitched poorly. 2 starts ago against Kansas City, he gave up, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. But I mean, he had a game against Detroit where he only gave up 5 hits. But he's locked in now, pounding the strike zone. I mean, when you look at 64 pitches going into the 5th inning, that's great for him.
Well, a 2-out base hit. Shoe over to cut it off. So Loesch, that is only his 2nd hit in 24 at-bats this year.
Yeah, here you go. The same MO with Masterson. 2 outs, trying to get the horse into the barn, and you got to let the pitcher get a base hit off you. 2-out singles. I'll give Loesch credit. He was coming into the game hitting 0-45, struck him out the first time, but you put the ball in play. Sometimes good things happen. So Kyle Loesch helps his own cause and gets a single.
Well, the inning continues for a call, who has bounced out to Kochman at first and lined out his last time up to Damon in left. Call has had an outstanding career. Came up, of course, many seasons in Atlanta. Spent time with the Dodgers before coming over to St. Louis. He had an appendectomy during the offseason and didn't have a chance to do a lot of conditioning. And Mike Matheny and the Cardinals were livid with the way he showed up back in February down in Florida. They're going to give the home plate umpire, meanwhile, Mark Wegner, a chance to shake this off.
Yeah, I mean, that was a direct hit right into the mask.
Well, we brought up earlier is they're going to make sure that Wegner's okay, that Mike Matheny, I mean, you hear so much talk about concussions with football players, and of course that has really been in the news for the better part of the last couple of years, but it was Matheny, you may remember, who had to end his career early after all the concussions he suffered as a minor league catcher and then into his major league career. Boy, he talks about some dark days in his life after he walked away from baseball.
And you had Carlos Santana missing a week because of a concussion after a ball fouled off his mask. He's changed masks and went to the steel mask where little better production. And as we talk about it, it happens again. Verkalski, he's not prejudiced. He's getting everybody back there.
No.
Umpire, catcher. That one gloved to the mask, so it took a little brunt off of the.
1-2 on for a call. Last time we saw Matheny, he was telling a story about, right when he got out of baseball, he said, part of trying to get your mind to start programming correctly again, for lack of a better word, he said his wife would say to him, all right, look, go to the grocery store and go buy a pack of chewing gum, a specific kind of chewing gum. And he would get in the car as there's a check swing and a miss, and he just finished the thought as it's strike 3. He would get in the car and forget where he was going and what he was going to buy.
No kidding.
It's been a long road back for him. Still 1-0 and to 5. Gorgeous look high atop Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis, Missouri. Alongside Rick Manning and our entire Fox crew, Tom Brenneman, 1-0 Cardinals lead. And first pitch swinging is Cabrera. And that's out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Well, here's a guy that can get it started in a hurry for the Indians. What a great start for Jason Kipnis.
Well, he's earned the way to get into that number 3 hole. He's been outstanding offensively, defensively for the Indians. An exciting guy. I mean, he gets dirty. He gets after it in a hurry. He loves to play the game of baseball. He can do just about anything on the baseball field. He can bunt, he can run, he can steal a base if need be. He's got a very good eye at the plate. And there you go. When you look at the team rankings, not many people have done that throughout the course of a year in all of baseball, but he's doing that right now in the first half.
In fact, Kipnis is the only Indian to play in every Cleveland game so far this year, trying to bunt his way on. And by the way, he's one of 5 players right now. It won't be that way when the year ends to lead his team in every one of those categories we just put up. Ryan Braun, Carlos Gonzalez in Colorado, Andrew McCutchen with the Pirates, and Adam Jones, a hero tonight for Baltimore.
Well, he fouled the ball off his knee last night, and he was down for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I didn't know if he'd be ready to go today, but in that same at-bat, he came up and got a base hit, so his toughness, he stayed in there. He thought Westbrook was going to throw him another pitch inside to go back at there, and he did not.
Beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 3. Our game summary, Rick, not a lot to talk about offensively as Loesch and Masterson have dominated the opposition so far.
Yeah, pinpoint controls. Masterson 4 hits. The one that left the ballpark, and Kyle Loesch has been brilliant. You're talking about a bunt base hit by Brantley, and that kept his hitting streak alive. But Beltran, the league leader in home runs, is the difference.
Now Santana. Santana had a devastating knee injury going back to August of 2010 against Boston. And there are a lot of people that wondered how well he would recover from that. Well, boy, did he recover. Set an Indians franchise record for home runs by a switch hitter with 27 last year. Had over 30 doubles and more than 90 walks. So while his batting average may not be much to speak of, he does get on base.
Yeah, he will take the walk. He's got a very good eye. That's something he will change as he gets older. Sometimes he gets homer happy from the left side of the plate. The swing gets a little bit longer and he likes to hit home runs. But last year from the right side of the plate, he tightened it up and he would go gap to gap and he was much better. And Maniac has been trying to get him to shorten that swing for a while, and eventually it will come.
2-2. Boy, Actor, one of the real likable guys in Major League Baseball, and paid his dues for so many years in the Astros organization. Of course, he was in Washington when that franchise was in its infancy after making the move from Montreal, and now in his 3rd year. And he has the Indians a half game out of first place, and here we are a week into the month of June.
And back-to-back years, Tommy, where they've been in first place for the first couple of months. Last year, the injuries decimated this ball club, and they just couldn't maintain it. This year, they're going to have to fight their way through it, and these young kids that took the step last year are getting better and better every game they go out there.
3-2 pitch. Jam shot roller. That'll be the second baseman from shallow right field, and the throw is in time to end the inning. Carlos Beltran is accounted for the lone run in this one. He'll start it in the Cardinals' 6th.
Baseball night in America, Mets and Yankees. Phil Hughes is now allowed a home run in all 12 of his starts this year. Omar Quintanilla gets him tonight. Mets and Yankees tied at 1 in the 5th. Royals and Pirates. The Bucks had allowed a major league low 17 home runs in their home ballpark at the start of the night, but Yuniesky Betancourt got one in a visiting uniform this evening. Royals lead in the 4th. Back to Tom and Rick in St. Louis.
All right, Matt Vasgersian, thank you very much. Well, certainly the Cardinal fans keeping an eye on those surprising Pirates. We mentioned Cincinnati, the National League Central Division leader, going into play tonight. They've already lost as Beltran, first pitch hacking, and a grounder right at Kochman, and that's a quick out for Justin Masterson. But the Pirates are in between the Reds and the Cardinals in the Central.
You know, they have had a hard time scoring runs, but they have managed to stay there. Their pitching's been very solid, and you know, now they're back into the hunt. They did this about a year ago last year, where they came back into the fold, and then all of a sudden they went south.
Pirates have had a nice addition to their starting rotation. They bring in Eric Bedard, took a flyer on him, and A.J. Burnett. Base hit into center field by Yadier Molina, his first hit tonight. Well, you look back, some of the great catchers in the history of baseball, only 6 of them have multiple Gold Glove awards and multiple World Series titles in their careers. I mean, look at some of these names. Howard, Roseboro, the great Johnny Bench.
Yeah, very impressive.
Ray Fosse, Thurman Munson, he's from up around Cleveland. Of course, that's where he grew up.
Absolutely. Ray Fosse, a former teammate. That is very impressive. This guy in the last year or two has really started to swing the bat very, very well. We all know defensively he's, if not the best, one of them.
Well, the opening weekend here on Fox, we were right here, and Tony La Russa was in town to get their World Series rings from last year. And we had heard him say it before. I think maybe a lot of fans had never heard him say it. But I mean, he came out point blank and said, look, I've maintained for years that Albert Pujols was the best player in Major League Baseball, but the most irreplaceable player on this Cardinal team was not Pujols.
Yeah.
It was Yadier Molina.
It's tough to argue with him. Well, and how do you lose that guy? Albert Pujols, the best player in the game, and they're still in the thick of things.
And they've hit.
They've hit without him. Yes. But you still have to maintain everything else, and they can't hit. First in the league in runs scored, home runs. They've got some pop. Patience now. I mean, the thing that they've been doing recently, my offensive numbers have gone down a little bit. Striking out a little bit more, not taking as many walks. The patience up there, the on-base percentage. But when you have a team that is as powerful as the Cardinals, you're going to go through good times and bad times with the guys that swing the bat very hard. They'll go through their strikeout periods.
It really doesn't matter who they bring in, but all the injuries they've had, whether it's Craig, whether it's Matt Carpenter, or hoping to have off the disabled list very, very soon, Mike Adams. No matter who they bring up, they hit.
Yeah.
You know, the one guy that doesn't get a lot of conversation, who, for my money, watching the Cardinals at the start of this year, might have been as important as anybody in their lineup, was John Jay. That guy can hit.
Yeah, and he's from the left side, so he complements the right-handers out there. And you know, he was out long tossing today with the separated shoulder.
Broken back, and Kochman tries to put the tag on Molina, who dodges it. 2 are out. Well, of course, it's right around the corner. The biggest event of the summer, baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with a 2012 All-Star Game, and it's right here on Fox, Tuesday, July the 10th. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific from Kansas City. They did a great job with that ballpark, haven't
they? They sure have. That's still one of my favorites to go to because they spent their money, they renovated it, and it's still a beautiful facility.
Runner goes, and right on the money is that throw by Santana. I mean, you can't drop it in there any better than that. Still 1-0. We're back after a word from your local Fox station. Presented by Budweiser. It is the top of the 7th inning. Kyle Loesch and the Cardinals with a 1-0 lead over Justin Masterson and the Indians, and that's Brantley's second hit. That's the Indians' second hit. So Brantley with a bunt single earlier, extending that hitting streak now to 17 straight games. Jumps on a first pitch liner, and here comes Johnny Damon. And now it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof stat. Johnny Damon, has he been counted on? Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Look at where he ranks among active players. What a great career.
Consistency, and that's what it's all about. When you look at the names and the people that he is up there with, it's something very, very special. You look at it and you almost have to think, is this guy really, is he a Hall of Famer? When you look at the people he is up there with in games played and runs and RBIs and stolen bases. Very good leadoff man for a long time.
Of course, he was fortunate to play on many great clubs after starting his career in Kansas City, where they weren't so good. I mean, look at the categories here now. 2,700 hits, 1,600 or more runs, 1,100 or more knocked in, 400 or more stolen bases. That's it.
Yeah, and there you see it. I mean, he just pencil in 100 runs every year. You know he's going to play 140 or 150 games a year. That's something that you can't replace. And you know, he started this year, didn't sign, came on early because the Indians, he didn't really have spring training, and he had to be up by May 1st when he did get back. Still playing his way in. Whether he has anything left or not, I don't know. I mean, he's going to have to play it out, but he's going to get the opportunity. He's sharing left field at times with Shelley Duncan.
Molina's been doing that forever.
Yeah. When you have an arm like his, you love to show it off. And if you stray off first base, second base, or third base for any length of time, he's going to be there and he'll get you. And that would made it awfully close. Brantley does get the hand back just in time.
1-1 the count on Damon. Leadoff man aboard. And rolls over at foul.
You can do that, call that play, because Molina could call the fastball in with the left-handed hitter, and with Loesch on the mound, he could hit it in off the plate, and Molina can come up and throw before he even gets the ball. That's how good Loesch is commanding the baseball today. And he thought he had him when he released the ball. 4 straight Gold Glove awards. Tremendous arm. He can control the running game.
1-2 now on Damon. Ground ball. They'll get one, and that's all. Good, clean, hard slide out there by Brantley. So 1 out in the inning. And as you know, this Major League Baseball season on Fox, we're proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. If you'd like to learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. So, Rick Manning, here we go. We figure when Justin Masterson and Kyle Loesch were coming into this game, we had a chance to see this kind of a game. I don't know about 1-0.
Well, not and the speed of this game, the rhythm of it. The guys are getting aggressive. They're swinging the bats. There really hasn't been much to talk about. The pitchers have been outstanding. I don't remember seeing any games like that this year. Have you? A 1-0 game that's
No.
I mean, just flying by. 7 hits in the ball game.
Of course, offense is very much down for now a 3rd consecutive year around Major League Baseball. It's amazing how many teams you'll go and see, and you'll talk to the people that see them on a regular basis, talk to their managers, and it's almost like a broken record for a lot of clubs, not this Cardinal team, but you'll hear guys say, we can't hit.
Right. Well, we talked about it before the game today. There's a lot of teams that consistently cannot put runs on the board. You know, that's why the little things have to be done. You got to maximize every opportunity you get when you can, and if you build it around pitching and defense, you're going to be in a lot of ball games. And I think that's a key. I think this St. Louis ball club is more of a team built for the American League, and the Indians are built more for the National League, the style of play of each ball club.
Here you see some of the rankings for this Indian team. We'll get back to that. 6th overall in runs. That's not bad.
No.
12th in home runs. So they're doing it with small ball more than the long ball. We talked about the running game. And they're hoping that ERA is going to get better and better, because they have the guys in the rotation capable of getting better and better. There's a bouncer up the middle. They get one. Cotchman beats out the throw.
Boy, just barely. They turned it nicely. It just wasn't hit hard enough for him to turn the double play. Kochman going down the line, and you get Descalso flipping it over to Furcal. And then you see the good relay throw. It was bang, bang at first base. Well, that's about as close as you can get right there, but he keeps it alive. He gives Chisenhall one opportunity, as he just does get the foot down on the base. Adams didn't like it. He thought he had him.
Chisenhall, first pitch swinging, fouls it away. He's popped to short and fly to center. The only Indian with a base hit tonight is Michael Brantley, and he has 2 of them.
Well, and I see that they're going to go to the bench, because Masterson due up next. They're going to bring out a pinch hitter. Duncan was out there. Lopez coming out now. Should Chisenhall reach? This is something that normally they don't have to do in the American League. If Masterson was throwing this good, he'd remain in the ball game down 1-0, no question.
And there is a chance that if Chisenhall makes a final out of this 7th inning, that they'll allow Masterson to go back out there.
He will be back out there, no question. I would think so.
They have left-hander Tony Sipp getting ready in their bullpen. And this should be the final out of the 7th inning. They stand and stretch in St. Louis. Cardinals 1, Indians nothing on Baseball Night in America on Fox. drive with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. Two of the great voices of the game with ties to St. Louis. Statue of the late great Jack Buck, and of course his predecessor and one-time sidekick, Hall of Famer, and the legendary Harry Carey. Boy, I miss them both so very, very much. I had a chance to work with Harry Carey 6 years in Chicago, and I can tell you. Now you talk about a man who loved to live life. And of course, Jack Buck and all the extraordinary work he did in and around this community. Son Joe, of course, still makes his home here, and the entire Buck clan. That's 3 pitches to take care of Matt Adams, with Masterson indeed still out there for the bottom of the 7th, down 1-0.
Well, you come right down. He paints the outside corner at the knees. That's an unhittable pitch. And Adams says, I can't hit it. And if it is a hitter, you take it and hope they call it a ball. And he didn't do it there. That's strikeout number 6 for Masterson.
Boy, has he been good tonight. Here's Freeze. Strike 1. Masterson has had 37 walks in 74 1/3 innings coming into the game tonight. And it feels like he's not even gotten close to a walk in this game.
I know it. He has been in total command of his ball game, no question. That was 5th in the American League, the 37 walks.
Weekly popped up in a short right, and that's Kipnis. 2 away. Miguel Cabrera, Brandon Phillips, David Price, Justin Verlander among more than 20 stars to visit the MLB Fan Cave already this year. And you can watch Fan Cave player videos. Stay up to date on the latest happenings visiting MLBFanCave.com. You can follow MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. Well, now Descalso, and a beauty of a breaking ball in there for a strike. In the air left field, this will be a 1-2-3 inning. So the night more than likely is over for Masterson. 7 strong frames, but on the short end of a 1-0 game. Beltran solo home run back in the third, the only run thus far in this game, and Kyle Loesch out there to face pinch hitter Shelley Duncan. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Well, you've been watching Kyle Loesch pitch all day. As a pinch hitter, you walk up there, you're going to be aggressive. You can't sit back and wait, or you'll be down in the count 0-2.
No double barrel action. Boggs a right-hander, Zepchinski the left-hander. Just in case. Duncan, of course, the son of longtime Cardinal pitching coach Dave Duncan, who technically is still on a leave of absence from his Cardinal franchise. His wife, Shelley's mother, very ill, and he felt like it was very important, obviously, for him to stay and be with her during her battle. And certainly our thoughts and prayers go to their entire family.
I believe both his dad and mom were in the house tonight. They're here at the ball game. There you go. There's the.
Boy, Dave looks good.
Yeah, bigger brother. Chris is in the checkered shirt.
He does a little work locally, but radio TV work in St. Louis. #100th pitch of the night for Loesch, and it's up and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the Indians are just 1 for 12 this year as a team pinch hitting, and of course Duncan has that pinch hit. He's 1 for 3.
Payoff pitch to Duncan. They had it played that way. Well, here is tonight's Mazda better moment. Kyle Loesch. Boy, he's been better than everybody tonight.
The control has been unbelievable. He's just off the plate, and he has some of the best control going. He did walk a couple guys tonight, which is uncharacteristic of him. But I'll tell you what, he's been on the edges all night long, and he's got great control.
Brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter.
You know, and he has faced the Indians many times in his career.
A rocket off the bat of Chu right into the glove of Freeze. That ball found him.
Yeah. You're playing even with the bag, and all of a sudden that ball's right at you. You better catch it. You're in trouble. He sliced it that way, and it got there in a hurry. He was a step or two in front of the base. Yeah, you look at both pitchers. This is old school right here, going at it, a 1-0 ball game. The only mistake Justin Masterson made was the home run to Beltran, and Lowe has matched him pitch for pitch. And you know, in his last 8 starts against the Indians, Kyle Loesch was 1-7 and an ERA of over 8, but not this time. Boy, he is settled in.
Well, we talked about, you saw Dave Duncan a moment ago. It's extraordinary the work that Duncan did with so many pitchers, and perhaps nobody more so than Loesch. In Minnesota, highly touted prospect, had his moments, but never consistently put it together. Went to Cincinnati, more of the same, a short stint in Philadelphia, and the Cardinals took a flyer on him. And they got him to throw more strikes, to use more sink. This ball is blasted into right field, and it's up against the wall off the bat of Cabrera, and he's held to a long, loud single.
Boy, nicely played by Carlos Beltran off the wall. This ball was hammered. A line drive coming off the bat of Cabrera. That's one of the mistakes he made all day. That was a ball middle of the plate, but watch the play. Beltran gets it in, and he would have been a dead duck. I mean, perfect throw. Holds him at first base.
You surprised by this move?
I am. Yeah, a little bit.
Gives up 3 hits. He'll leave with 2 outs here in the 8th. pitch of beauty tonight.
Well, yes, he did. 3 hits in his 7 2/3 innings, a couple of walks, 4 punch-outs. And he is responsible for the man on first base, Cabrera, a 2-out single.
So now Mark Zepchinski takes over, left-hander to face a left-handed batting Jason Kipnis. Runner takes off, and a throw by Molina, and the runner is out. Cardinals back for what they hope will be the final time tonight, leading 1-0. Calories maximum Pepsi taste by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And by Just for Men, mustache and beard. Keep living the dream. How about this throw by Yadier Molina, the 4-time Gold Glove winning catcher?
I mean, he had a great jump. Kipnis takes it just like you're supposed to, but he fired a seed right on the money from his knees. It cannot be done any better than that. I thought Cabrera had a stolen base, but no siree. Denied by Molina. Beautiful throw, and he was pumped up after that throw. How's your job as a reliever? You come in, you make one pitch, you get the out, and there's Kyle Loesch, the starter, and said, thank you very much. We'll take it to the 9th.
All right, Cardinals bat here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Justin Masterson, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. Did not walk a batter, fan 6, and will give way to Jeremy Accardo from the Cleveland bullpen. Brought up from the minor leagues in Columbus and has thrown the ball pretty well so far.
Yes, he has. 13 strikeouts and 4 walks.
Line drive into right off the bat of Shane Robinson. This could be 3. Nope, he's going to stop at second with a leadoff double.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a big insurance run out there for St. Louis. You get the leadoff hitter. Robinson, a nice job going the other way, stayed inside the baseball. And Chu in right field played it quickly, or he would have definitely been thinking 3, so he is in scoring position. And now the Cardinals are going to try and move him over and play fundamental baseball, get him in to get that insurance run home.
Adrian Chambers going to be sent up as a pinch hitter. Has appeared in now 15 games, 24 at bats, has 6 hits. He has 1 sacrifice.
Well, that's what I'm looking for right about here. See if he'll sacrifice him over, get back to the top of the lineup.
Well, naturally, there's action in the Cardinal bullpen. 1-0 ball game. They have their closer, Jason Mott. They had to go bring him in a game earlier this week in the 8th inning to bail him out in Houston.
Well, when you're a base runner, and this kid can run out at second base, when you look at Robinson, you don't have to worry about getting your good jump in this situation because, well, sometimes that guy will bunt through the ball, you'll be out in the middle of nowhere, and you'll get thrown out. Trust the guy at home plate. He's got to force Chisenhall to field the ball at third base, and you can just walk into third. You don't have to worry about getting a big jump because he runs well. Your slower guys do.
But foul, that was a big part of your game during your long major league career. Speed,
yeah, and the little game. And Chambers right now, he pulled his bat back and left it foul territory. Now they want to talk to him and says, hey, just force the third baseman to field the ball. There's no trick play on here. You make him field it, he has to go to first base, and you're getting our insurance run into scoring position. We're less than 90 feet away.
Leadoff double by Robinson. Cardinals trying to add to a 1-0 lead against Ricardo out of the Indians bullpen. 2-1.
Ricardo trying to keep him from just slapping the ball the other way, forcing it inside, backing him off the plate. And the key as a hitter in this situation, make sure you bunt strikes. You can see in one-run games this year, the Indians have been great. 10-2. Cardinals 5-10.
2-1.
Nice.
Bunted perfectly.
Nice.
That might be a hit. Oh, they got it. But you can't roll it out there any better than that. That's a sacrifice.
That is well done. Well done. They get the out. Now they're going to have to play the infield in. And I mean, that was almost, he almost got the bonus and got a base hit, but Ricardo got off the mound and made a good strong throw to get him at first base. So job well done. Now you move it and let the next guy take over. Just in time as you see the stretch. Bang, bang.
So Chisenhall, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman all come in for a call to batter, runner at third and 1 out. And this will do the trick. Deep center field, double, bunt, fly ball, 2-0 St. Louis.
Boy, I don't think you don't love that as a manager when you get that insurance run before you go out there in the 9th inning and get your last 3 outs.
And tonight's Burger King smooth play of the game. Until that last fly ball, it was the only run of this one. Beltran, his 17th home run, and came back in the 3rd inning. That's a big tack-on run right there for the Redbirds. Crowd off on a play, and it's 0-2. Well, for those of you in Cardinal country, tune in tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest. Final game of this series. Coverage begins 12:30 in the afternoon Central Time. Cardinals with a chance to pick up a game on front-running Cincinnati. The Pirates are leading their game. Detroit 3-2 winners earlier today, and that's to the gap. 2-out double for Beltran.
Well, he scorches this ball. I mean, a line drive hits the base of the wall and just stays put. Second double in the inning for the Cardinals, and Beltran with a good afternoon. To triple away from the cycle. He has 3 hits. Boy, that's a nice swing right there. So they have a chance to tack on one more if they can get a 2-out base hit. So they're just going to put Molina on, and they'll take their chances with Craig, a guy that has been known to drive in some big runs as well.
I mean, this guy, Craig. And you can understand this move. I mean,
Sure.
Molina's been the hottest hitter in the lineup, and so you can understand why. You get a force, of course, and another bag. But, you know, Craig is knocking in a run roughly every 4 at-bats this season. We mentioned he's been on the DL twice. They've been very quiet tonight, 0 for 3, but had 30 hits and 79 at-bats, and in those 79 ABs, 26 runs batted in.
Yeah, but like you said, you take your chances. You have the force play on the infield. Molina's been as good as they get. Scott Radinsky's going to make the trot out to the mound just to settle him down, give him a little pat on the back and say, please get this guy. We can't afford to give up anymore.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Radinsky's name. I wanted to ask you about him. I know for a lot of people, you know, roughly our age, they remember, you know, Radinsky is this wild guy out of the bullpen and, you know, a big personality and the whole 9 yards. But now in this role as a first-year pitching coach for the Indians, how would you best describe him now?
Well, I mean, he paid his dues in the organization. He was down in the minor leagues for years. He came up last year when Tim Belcher was the pitching coach, who did a fine job. He spent a lot of time in that bullpen and really did a great job with those guys there. So they just moved him up as far as a pitching coach because Belcher, you know, went home. He's still with the organization, and to this point, he's done a fine job. He really has.
Just saw Tim Belcher the last few days in Cincinnati. He was in there getting a look at the Reds, and that's where the Indians are going after the game tomorrow. Playing, they call it the Ohio Cup, the first of 2 series against their in-state rivals. Well, look at those numbers for Craig. That's what we're talking about. 12 of 24 with runners in scoring position. And he hits one right on the nose for the final out. Cardinals get one more. Here we go in the 9th with Mott trying to nail it down. Presented by Budweiser. Nearly 42,000 on hand at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Cardinals 2, Cleveland nothing. Top of the 9th inning. And Jason Mott, 10 of 13 in save situations. takes over on the mound for Mike Matheny's team. And strike one will go through the heart of the order here. Kipnis, Santana, and Brantley.
Cardinals trying to do something that no team has done to the Indians this year, shut them out. Only 2 teams in the American League have not been shut out, the Tigers and the Indians.
You look back on that unbelievable, really story-back comeback season for the Cardinals. They were 10.5 back. It's been well documented near the end of August. 10.5 back in a wild card. Wound up catching Atlanta. And then, of course, that was the springboard through the Division Series, LCS World Series title. It overshadowed what was really a very bad Cardinal bullpen for basically about the first 4.5 months of the year. I mean, they were virtually among the worst in every category there was. They went through a number of different closers before they finally settled on Mott, and that entire bullpen just happened to get hot for a month and a half. That's why I've been a little surprised that a lot of people are surprised that their bullpen has struggled somewhat this year.
Well, that's a good point, Tommy, because your bullpen settles down when you have the back end and a guy that can slam the door. Then everybody else falls into their position, and they end up picking up, and they know their jobs, they know their roles, and they do it well. Yeah, they match up with the Zepchinski with the left-hander. He went on a roll, and you know, it just happened, and it could click. It's just a matter of if and when. And when we talked to Wainwright today, he said if our starters could take them deeper into the ballgame and they don't have to use as many innings from these guys, it could fall right back into place again.
But it is still very much a work in progress. According to Mike Matheny, this bullpen. Of course, they had Scott Linebrink injured. He's now gone. They had Fernando Salas was sent to the minor leagues. You see the numbers?
Right.
Overall, the bullpen, I mean, they have been awful. There have been a lot of games, you know, a lot has been made about the Cardinals went through that stretch where they didn't hit. But they've had 5 games since the beginning of April where they've scored 7 or more runs and lost games.
Right. Right. And Kyle Loesch, 6 no decisions, and 4 of those times he could have had wins where the bullpen gave it up on him, where he came out with a lead.
Jam shot pop up. Beltran coming, and he'll get there. We thank Mark Wegner, a home plate umpire, for wearing a microphone. Let's listen in our Fox sounds of the game.
Have a good one, Yachty. Thanks, man. Kyle, we might have to. Well, we'll be close. 6:14, 6:15, first pitch. What's up, Rafi? Have a good one. What's up, Alan? Have a good one. Good, Johnny. How are you?
He's a nice guy. He said hi to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
You were always very friendly with umpires.
Well, I never ejected, you know. They have a tough job, and now they're under scrutiny more so than ever.
Yep.
Than they ever have been. And I'll tell you what, their job is not an easy one.
Trying to get the Cardinals within 2 of front-running Cincinnati. The Pirates are winning their game 5-3, but a long way to go in that one. They're in the 6th inning in front of Kansas City. It's outside 2-1. If the Pirates win, they'll be within a game. Cardinals and Indians here tomorrow. Likewise for the Royals and the Pirates. Reds and the Tigers play tomorrow night.
Little extra insurance run. Right now, Mott has got to go at him. Even if Santana hits a ball out of the ballpark, it's only 1 run. You can't give him a free pass here and let the tying run come to the plate.
Through a strike, and Santana fouls it off out of play. We'll do it again.
Especially when you're throwing the ball 96, 97 miles per hour.
Not originally a catcher coming up through the Cardinal organization. They converted him into a pitcher. And he has really gotten better and better every year. Straight up. Should be the second down. It is. The producer of our game tonight, Jeff Gowan. Our director is Jim Lynch. Our associate director is Eric Billingmeyer. And our associate producer is Mr. Andy Kavanaugh. Our technical producer is Craig Marlowe. And for our entire Fox crew, it is always a pleasure to have you with us. Look forward to seeing you again next weekend. Many of you will see the Cubs and the Red Sox, and many of you will see the Reds and the Mets. Brantley extended his hitting streak to 17 games with a bunt single back in the 4th inning and a line drive single to center in the 7th. 2 of just 3 hits tonight for Cleveland. Cabrera had the other in the 8th. Loesch went the front 7 2/3, allowed 3 hits. Shevchinski got an out, and now Mott a strike away and an out away. And this should do it. First time all year the Indians have been shut out. Beltran, the home run in the 3rd. Cardinals tack on a run in the 8th. 2-0 final here tonight. The rubber game of this series comes your way tomorrow. So that's going to do it from St. Louis. Coming up next, we'll send it back to the MLB Network studios for all the post-game coverage. And that's coming right up after these messages.